Without spoiling
rating-
anything, like it's totally okay to not like it, right? It's fine to not like it because that aspect of everything is subjective. But
Yes.
people saying that it's just like bad and the writing is lazy
The worst
and
game
like
of all time.
yeah, it's like
Does,
okay.
does the writing have some issues when you take a critical eye to it? Yeah. What game doesn't? Right?
Like
there's a,
Literally
the
every
Last of Us
game.
Part 2 is like
And
in
then
the
again,
top 5% of good video game writing, which puts it at like, I don't know, the top 70% of good writing for literally any other medium, right?
and I even think a lot of what is considered critical, good or bad writing and analysis is still pretty subjective.
And that's what I was going to say. I think with rating
Like,
games,
like even if you're rating things that are objective, there's still subjectivity in it when it comes to anything that's based on art. I think
you're rating something.
Yeah.
Like unless there's like clear, definitive, like checkbox a computer can do it, there's going to be subjectiveness. But to me, if you're rating a game,
subjectiveness, but that's a totally different conversation.
For the most part, I don't think story should have an impact on the rating. A lot of times.
Oh,
No. For the most part, like if it's a dumpster fire, it's a different story. But I'm saying, like, I didn't like the story. I thought the story went away I didn't like. That's not a reason to downvote a game or something like that. Now, if you're saying that, dude, what
if
the
it's
fuck?
a
The story
narrative
was incomprehensible.
And that's one of the reasons you play, right? Then the story being bad will absolutely detract from
Kingdom Hearts has a narrative that's incomprehensible, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have glowing reviews.
There's a difference between a story being bad and a story not being what you like. That's what I'm getting at. You not liking it versus it being bad are not the same thing.
Well, I think a lot of a story being bad is still subjective.
Well, I mean, it could be at the level of a third grader,
like
kind of storytelling, and that I think can almost.
And maybe it's supposed to be that, right? Like maybe they intentionally made a story that was super easy to digest and doesn't take any risks, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like how much of it is, like the intention of the person that made it executed. And you have to know their intention to answer that question and answer that aspect.
That's why I think the story should be rated.
And
I agree with
because
that's how it should be rated.
No, I
but that relies on too much interpretation too.
As a creator, as an artist, part of your job is understanding how the consumer, how the person who is consuming your creation is expected to react to that, right?
And how is abstract art a thing?
So we clearly can't count on Urk to tell us whether or not abstract art is
yes and no,
good.
because some art just exists because that's what the artist wanted to make. And that's what they wanted out of it. And then if anybody else likes it is irrelevant.
But let's be real, when it comes to AAA video games, I would argue that most of them aren't going for that highbrow, I'm making this because it's my dream sort of deal. They're going for the, oh shit, we gotta get paid, we've got a deadline in 3 months, and we're literally starving here, working 90 hours a week.
So would it have been fair to kill Mario Odyssey because its story was bad?
No, and that's not my point at all. But so Nintendo said, hey, what do Mario gamers care about? And story is not one of those things. The Last of Us devs very, very much said, what do gamers care about? A good story.
Oh, right? No. We're not disagreeing with that.
What are they selling the game on?
You're saying, but you're fitting into the intent when you say that. You're saying their intent was to have that kind of story. And that's kind of what Adam was saying. Like you're gauging their intent, so you're trying to imply it, which is still a dangerous ball game.
Basically, I'm saying that no matter how you try to evaluate art, there is going to be a filter that runs through your head that is subjective.